push to here? Is that one working? Because now I did the other on. Yeah, there it goes. Now it's changing. I had to press one more button. Excellent connection, it says. But do we see a video coming through? Yeah, there it goes. Now I see a video. Now I can go to both. Crap. We'll do that here, and here I'll do the same. I've got to go back. Here it is. I gotta go back to go forward. How do I see me so I can see the chat? I have the one. That one's me. There we go. Now I can see my chat there. And here. Can I see both at the same time? Too many windows, not enough time. Oh, that's weird. I did not know it would show. There it goes. I guess it had the banner as the thumbnail. Okay. One. We need to split. Okay, well, I can see both, and that appears to be working everywhere. So we can ignore the rest and actually get back to the game now. We'll hop over here, and we can turn this one on. And now we can get going. Previous stream, we were trying to build a Manticore, and it got way too big, way too fast, and that's probably not going to change either. But I will focus on keeping it smaller this time around. That way I can have a smaller little Corvette that is more suitable for screening against larger ships. And to do that, I'm going to stop using yellow first. It's just not as easy to build with for me. We'll add our mirror coming through here. And I'm thinking I've got to do... We're just going to block out some of... Well, let's pull this out because I don't want to end up building forward. Because we're going to start with the rear. We'll pull this across a little bit. And I want some separation in here, but that's still going to get super big, super fast. These are going to be thrusters coming through here, and then we had two spaces. Because I don't want this to be even. Don't want it to be an even grid. Get some thrusters like that. We can have a little bit of decoration because we don't have a unified grid system yet. This is the best I can do if I want a little bit of cowling on here for both sides. This can come off. Then we can come back this way. That'll be like the side. I can have some half plate cowlings come through here for the body of this. And the Manticore should have kind of a rectangular body coming through here. I do want these exterior nacelles to extend out. And we will come off the top, maybe? We'll pull it off here, just so we can see what we're working with. So it's going to be occupied with half block. This is going to be occupied with half block, which means this is where we will actually be starting. So that's still pretty large, even if we only have like one thickness. I guess it'll be 3 blocks thickness just because of how these are all set. This one does need to sit a little bit higher. So I don't want it to be parallel, I want you to be above. And I do want you to extend beyond. Maybe even further than that. Put these up here. And then we also wanted some internal blasting ones for my side thrust, which would probably have to get staggered this way. And I can even do them over here. And since I want this to be thicker, that is fine for setting up a base going this way. And now I should have ample amounts of thrust. Maybe I'll leave that one off. Yeah, I'll do that for now. Ample amounts of thrust. This should also give that some girth. That's piped through here, which is what I want to see. I know the thickness for it now, so I can get rid of these guys and add that. I'll come back through and re-armor them later, if need be. That way we keep all of that together. And we will also need some braking thrust here, which can give us 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 10 up. That's a lot of up thrust. I'm sure we'll end up needing it. Oops. And that can go there. So that will occupy all of these. Do I need? I don't think I need all of that. So that'll save on some PCU. And I can also put some gyroscopes or something in there. Or I may need. Let's put you. I'll put you. We'll keep it in the back. And then we can put some gyroscopes in there. So that'll do up, down, left, right, forward, and backwards thrust. Those are the principal ones that we want. It kind of gives us a guesstimate on how wide this thing can be. We'll do some rough cowling on these. Just some, like, something thin. I almost want you to come out 2 blocks there, and then come down, which would mean here you could just go 1, maybe even none. But I do need it to build up. Which could be fine there. And then I wanted... It's gonna get too big. Just wanting these, because I want it partially exposed thrusters there. And so they're sticking out just a bit, but not too much. Or I could even have it with that more exposed. I almost want like a top part reaching over and a bottom part reaching over to hold this in place. But then that might get too big too fast. So we'll just build it out with the thin stuff first and see where it goes from here. If this is going to be... Let's keep you light. Put some dead zone pieces in here. Oh, you got rid of my... It's been a while since I've been on here. So all of my interior blocks. Really, I just wanted that cylinder and this interior wall. But I gotta change the way I think about how these blocks are organized now. So that'll be 1, 2 there. I need 2 for death space. do I even need to? We will see. And what I actually need to do is redo all of this because I never put record on the time-lapse portion of it. So I'm just a huge dummy. Let's... gotta cut it there. That's gonna fall, and... yes, let's delete that. We can throw it. Where's the Desert of Shame? Desert of Shame. Okay. Now that I've started recording on the other side, I'll come back over here. 2 blocks up, and at least I like how that was going. So we'll pull this, reset our mirrors, pull this back a little bit, and we can get to where we were a little bit faster. Pull those through, and dead space, up, up, and up. Put some thrusters in here. Get rid of these guys. And I still pulled this over. That'll come forward because it's a blocky bit. And we'll see how close I actually got to this other one once I start building it. Dead space. Actual blocking here. Okay, and then we can come this way. Oops, me. Pull this back a little bit. It was there and up and out, and then yeah, you and you go in. So now I've got that coming all the way out, and has to go out one more for dead space because I can cow here and there, so this goes out one more. 2, 3. Or was it? Oh well, we'll reinvent the wheel every time. You're in line there. One more. And you, which means that comes across, which means we don't need any of that. Which means we can go back to here and here. That way we can have a similar look. We can go back over there and check just a sec too. That gives me the 3, so I can have the space for some dead zone pieces coming through, and a couple should be fine. I don't mind if it drifts a little bit. Should be kind of, I guess, poking in and out or skirting around the battle is the thought behind it, at least. Let's pull, we'll do 4 here. And what if we do that, nope, a little too soon for a jump drive. Oh, it needs a jump drive. That's going to take up a lot of space. I didn't even think about that the last time, about where that would go. I could even, I'll do that there. It'll still taper up. Could put one more over here. Or I could shrink it a little bit. Let's see what's going on here. So I'm building this on my first time-lapse build area because the shorter or the smaller one I made recently is a little too small for what I need. That one is not going to work. I tried to put the mock-up Manticore that we made earlier on the last stream in there, and the time-lapse rotating arm, where are you at here? That guy does not rotate around that workspace because it's a very tiny workspace because I intended it for small grid things, not for large grid things. And large grid ships tend to get very large very fast. That's just an unfortunate thing with them. I'm hoping that will change a bit with Space Engineers 2 coming out, because we're going to have the ability to put detailing in at a much finer level. So you won't have a whole half block in here, because I could just make it essentially the small grid block. And I'm probably going to butcher that lingo a lot. Instead of just using large grid blocks, I can just call them large blocks on the large ship. You can use small blocks, and I could also use detail blocks. I think that's the terminology they're going with it. You've got the detail blocks for that smallest quarter-meter ones, and then you've got your old small scroll, the half-meter, and then these are 2.5-meter blocks. But I can build on top of these guys too, so I don't have to use as huge of a gap in things anymore either, which will also be nice. So I could just put the tolerances in for things that I need, which will give us a lot more room for design elements. And I think that's going to look really cool going forward in the future. We're already starting to see some videos come out with ships that are incorporating those, the blue ship and the red ship, of course. And then I saw there was a video already posted by Splitsy, who did a little detailed ship, which looked pretty nice. And it really showcased how tight you can get with some of the details. And that's the kind of thing I think that we want going forward with some more detailed builds. And not to say that I'm very good at putting those in details in any ways, but it's a good tool to have so you don't have to work off of things that don't work the way you want them to, or gives you the more tools in your tool bag to work with things if you did have that ability to put all those details in there. So that looked pretty cool, and I'm looking forward to that. And it's Monday over here when it's going to come out, 27th. I look forward to that, even if all we have is ion thrusters and you don't need power packs for anything. I think that was whose other video was that? I can't remember. The other guy who had it showed that you could just slap thrusters on a control seat because you don't need power yet, and it looks like they only have the. I could even put a jump drive in here. It doesn't look like they even have the hydrogen thrusters or conveyors or anything like that in yet, but those should be coming soon, and that'll make things, I guess, more robust. It'll be back to where we want them, or at least to where we can start to build a functional ship with those pieces, because they don't come through too deep in here. Should be able to block that. But still, even with the early alpha, I'm looking to see how we can do things. Do some testing on the game as well with placing, I guess, can we? It didn't look like we could, but if you place like a cube, a big cube for the 2.5 meter, and then you go switch to the smaller one, can I take a chunk out of it? It didn't look like I could, but you could build around it, or you could remove that cube and you could just fill it in with whatever other pieces you wanted. Yeah, I almost messed myself up pretty badly there. One of the reasons why I made the other small grid workspace was that it has that trapdoor that drops stuff out from the bottom. Because I have deleted this entire workspace a number of times, and it's not good to do that. When you delete the entire workspace, it messes up not only with what I'm building, which I could just do with a quick Control Z or just repaste it, Although repasting it is a bit of a pain just because of this base and its elevations coming through here. It is annoying to set everything down just right. It's like kind of another reason why that small grid time-lapse one is floating in the air. I didn't care what was around it, and I didn't want to clear out stuff below it. But this, not so much. And it would mess up my time-lapse build recording too, because all of a sudden the recording platform is gone. And I do not want that. We'll just go here, here, and if we come up, if we're smart about it. If we're smart about it, we can do this. That's 2 for death. And if we go here, there's my little panel. Oh, there we go. There we go. Little panel. I guess I went completely the wrong way. Do that. That'll be fine. And I can even... There's no connection there. I'll just put that there. And then I can come this way. And I can block that off. Nothing for you, but we'll come this way. There, so that gives me 2 for the death zone for these thrusters. That one should be unaffected. At least it has been in the past. And that way I get to close this off. That should be good. Yeah. Jump drive here. Pretty much anywhere I just have a straight chain of these conveyors, I can put in something else. I can put in... That one could just be an elbow. This one could be a T as it comes through. These ones can be T's as they go, except for whichever one is connecting all the way through. You'll still have to be... actually, no, you'll still have to be just that junction. But we can mess with some of those a little later. But other more important ones to mess with would be like this guy here. I'm not going to have a whole lot of space. Actually, I may even have a space I didn't think I had a minute ago. No, because that tank is going to be exposed. Oof. This is okay for the jump drive to be exposed because it's not that critical. We'll go in here. And we can get rid of these. And we can force in a tank for fuel. And then same thing with like here too. And because these are on the inside, they shouldn't be that big of an issue with getting hit. But it does make that whole area a bit precocious. And that should go through. They should all be lit. Yep, they're all lit right now. That's fine. I like that. Let's put a temporary control seat back here. Just so we can manipulate things on the ship should we need to. Like turning off the dampeners. That way we don't get too much wiggle off of everything that's going on, because these thrusters were trying to keep it aloft, as we're sitting on a rotor down here. Because that rotor makes us a subgrid, it makes this safe from being painted, which is why he did that, but ultimately it's not going to be very stable here. It's going to try to shake, rattle, and roll. I guess I could remake this and engineer a landing gear to sit there, which would resolve both those problems, with it being a subgrid and painting, but I also wanted power, which really doesn't matter because this is a creative world, so it doesn't matter whatsoever. Let's build up the inside of this nacelle. We can even... I will pull this across. And this can also be a tank. We'll do it from here. we have got some gas on this. I tend to have fuel consumption issues, just because I like to burn the thrusters all the time. That's how I dodge, is primarily with the up thrust and then a little bit of rotation. So then you're doing a circle and you can go in or out, mostly in, chasing them. So you've got a lot of forward thrust and a lot of up thrust to create a spiral going in. This looks pretty decent. I may need to make this, I want to say hell has to shift back just a tad. Just a tad. Let's go look at the Manticore. Let's look at a Manticore. Manticore. Let's go look at a Manticore. Manticore. These look okay. That'll be okay. And I think it's just going to look weird because the Manticore has a long, long snout. And that's just going to make it look weird. Because I've got much longer nacelles than what I probably should have. I can just push them back a little bit. And we can do that later. It's not a big deal right now. Before we start actually trying to do a whole lot of cowling in there, we can get some more of the basic shapes in. I don't want to finalize it too fast. That tends to be one of my weaknesses of building, as I get super detailed somewhere, waste a bunch of time and effort, and then it goes nowhere. But this should have a bit of a neck in here. We call all of this thruster area. We can come forward probably up to here. And that gives me even more space for thrust and stuff. These will stick out the back. I'm looking at some pictures over here of the Manticore from different angles. Actually, all of its thrusters sit pretty proud on the top, and then it's just got a big belly. Oh well, this is my take on it. I'll do what I want. Try to get close. At least as close as I can. And then we'll adjust from there. That's ultimately the answer for a lot of things. And just get close, do what you want. That's kind of the fun of building it. So if that's the case, this is probably fine. And then we'll have a couple blocks for a neck or something. That narrows out, and then this will have to come out and up. And I'd probably have to raise this whole thing anyways, because I have to come down quite a bit, it seems. That's the top. I'll try to keep that half blocks. So that's big dough. You're gonna have a big snout, which definitely makes me want to push back a little bit more. But that's okay because I can just cut a lot easier. Let's use this. We're not gonna go out as far. Then we can start doing that weird taper, because this is going to come forward to a point. I can even draw this guy forward and build off of it. I don't want the other ones. What I do want is something that I can do this taper off of. I could even... No, because that would require... It does have a big butt, too. It's a weird looking ship. to say the least. It's weird looking. But we'll go off of this plane because this is going to be where our nose thing is. At least that weird split that colonial ships do from Battle Star Galactica. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Where they do weird tapers and stuff. So we'll keep that flat back there. Let's go. And we'll do this awkward taper we had before. Every direction except the one I want. U as a flat. Then back to 7. So that way we have our little taper coming down. And this is, it's almost like a conical shape, is what I would say. When with it being more of a cone, that means I'm going to make this about as high, which means this whole thing probably shift up, because this isn't going to be the max height. It'll be another part of this. Well, let's pull this through. Here. And that should finish off the shape from what we were building before. And with that, I have to condense this whole area quite a bit, is what I'm thinking. And we'll probably make those nacelles a bit smaller. We'll pull this neck back. Let's build this up just a bit more. And we can see what kind of volume we're working with in here. And 1, 2, 3. 3. We should be roughly following that shape through. Oops. Then come through here. Doot. There we go. So there's some more rough shaping. That gives it more of the, because the Manticore is supposed to be a Corvette. Something fast with some guns, get in and out. Not supposed to be in there bruising stuff up. And what I saw on some of the stats for it, definitely not going to hold 800 personnel in it. I don't think that's what you want on a ship like that. Because the way they were listing it is like, no, this is a fast attack Corvette with 100 Marines in boarding. I'm like, no, you don't do that, Manticore. Not if you're a Corvette. At least not in my opinion on what your Corvettes should be doing. You're slightly bigger gunship. So this cowling comes across back here. You jump drive. You need to look covered a little bit. I'm just going to cover up the whole thing. And then this can come down. What it looks like. And that way I can build a half block under here. And if I wanted to put something in here, I could put I think there's even a short antenna that can go in here now. This, not so much. Use the bigger ones. There's like some sort of vent coming through. Or we could just put this in here for now. show, hey, something's going on there, but not going to show what it is necessarily. With that going on, I see a good place for this to get augmented. So I want to build this out like a bit of a wing. I can't even see what they have in the pictures over there. So I will just make it swept back looking wing. And then it'll just attach into a different place. So what if we do this first? We'll push you back 1 or back 2? Let's go back 1. You can go there, so when I drop this, we'll pick these guys up and place them there. I wonder if we'll be able to... Well, they did show that you could place mirrors with a copy-paste. Or rather, that was a pretty symmetric thruster that was placed in the video on top of the test ship that they were doing it on. But if it is a symmetric paste, that'll be cool, because even though I could be building the one, I could build the one nacelle, it gets mirrored because we're mirroring it, and then if I have to do one of these cut paste things, I can just cut it and just paste one and it auto mirrors to the other side. That's actually pretty profound. Ooh, that would be so cool if that's exactly how it looks. If exactly how it worked. I don't know if it had to be... No, it didn't have to be a blueprint in that video. But yeah, that's pretty interesting. I can't do... This is death back here. So I can't do... I was going to do an angled going both ways, but I don't have enough space to do it. What if I just did one on either side instead of 2? And then I can do... Right. Because this is going to be death through here. And I can bridge this a little more with structure. And that also does not cook off from those thrusters. Is it under ladders? I think they moved it. Because I used to have ramps under ladders. At least I think I did. Ramps and ladders. We'll just go ramps in here. Ramps and stairs now. We could swoop it back. Swoop it that way, and then here, swoop it forward. So now we somewhat get that shape, and it makes it look a little faster. This makes it look a little faster too. Just pushing that nacelle back just a little bit. Which could also mean that... what did I want to do here just a second ago? I wanted a... Now I can't see what I'm trying to do. That's connected through there. Everything's still piped. May even get rid of this jump drive and just know that's where it's supposed to sit. Because this is coming through and then it's looping down and around into those. Get rid of this. Can I get rid of that too? I was planning to do elbow with H2O2 generator sitting in there. And that way it can continue to pipe through, and we have one more critical piece in there. That's what I wanted more of. But we lose the piping going through this way, and these tanks aren't connected to the best ways in here. They're connected there, which comes up, so it's a weak connection, but it's there, and we can always improve on it. It's like the sun's starting to rise over there. Very nice. The sunrise happens every 2 hours here. So it's the standard day-night cycle. And that looked really cool in the time-lapse, especially when the time-lapse is doing like 50 times the speed. So it's pretty nice how it goes through. At least I like it. That's why I did it that way. You can see that the clouds moving everywhere, even though you don't see them normally coming through. Or they're not super obvious to see the clouds moving. They're there, but you don't see the movement all the time. Not as obvious, I should say. But you can really see the clouds bolt across in the time lapse. It's pretty nice. I like it. Hey, Dragonstar, I just saw you pop in there. This is Space Engineers. Space Engineers 1, to say. Space Engineers 2 is about to come out on the 27th. So that is going to be in an alpha state, though. We're going to be doing something similar to what we have here with the creative mode. That's what we're doing here, where you can just place down your blocks, whether they're just armor blocks or you've got more functional blocks like hydrogen tanks over there or these thrusters. Space Engineers 2 is going to be kind of limited as it's coming out because it's still in that alpha state. But Space Engineers 1 is pretty stable, and they're still improving on it. I enjoy this game quite a bit. That's why I'm building on it right now. Got to get used to building more, and that way you can do it on Space Engineers 2, especially once they have multiplayer back in there. And then we could start doing more time-lapse recordings and actually get folks playing the game together as opposed to just a single-player build states, which is how it's going to come out. But I'm excited for it. This needs to be round like this. But currently we are building a Manticore or something similar to it from Battle Star Galactica. So we'll see how this turns out, but there's always the ability to change things as we go through. If we don't like it, if it doesn't perform well, we can add more thrusters or whatever else we need to. And then the primary armament of it is going to be, I'm going to make a big gun to sit under here. And that'll be what's called a player-made weapon. Yeah, this definitely has to scooch all up. As opposed to some of the other weapons that currently exist in the game. Like this guy, for example, is a little Gatling turret. And you've got other ones that have been released more recently. You've got artillery turrets, assault turrets. But I'll probably slap something big on the back to kind of shoot up and behind. But down here is supposed to be its primary firing. And I'll make something of that. I just got to figure out what. Let's try to figure out how to blend that better. I think we can do it with this. Maybe that one. Yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it there. And it means that one also has to go there. And is there another transition base? Not that. I know there is. It's probably over here at 9. Pointed one. There we go. There you are. Oh, no, that doesn't look like it fits there. You come down too fast. That's going from square to these two 2x1 bases. I don't want it to come in that fast, which is why I had the 2... There's got to be another base in here. Where's that next transition? No. Some of these transition pieces are super, super awkward. And if they don't look right on the one side, you just come over to the other. And we don't have to flip through all of the mirrors to see it. Or a triangle on one side. We need a 2x1 on 2 sides. Because that's the base. That's just that tip. Let me pull this closer. Also does not have what I want, so what we'll probably have to do is avoid that blend that we're trying to do altogether. And if you don't have a block for what you need, don't use that transition. Or the other answer is there's a mod for that. A lot of mods for this game. Let's do that there and there, because maybe we can get another transition piece. Should be the tip. Tip goes through there, but what if there's a flatter guy that goes in here too. You might work there, because this is already pretty awkward, and smooth is not something this game does very well on these large grid blocks. That's kind of interesting. And then there is a piece for you. You know, we've seen it. There. You could fit there and there. Yeah. Okay. That's smooth. And then I just need to pull this forward with... You gonna fit in there? No. We want... That's not what we want either. That's going to show up the wrong way. This is probably going to be what I want here. No. I see what we need. That's what we need. There and there. Yeah, that was what it needed. And then we can probably continue that going through here too. That blended nicely, and then we'll probably even do that again coming forward. Why not? Because it worked. Ooh, that's not going to work there. That's fine. We can do... Actually, still in that same set of blocks. It was a little more rounded there because we had a bigger radius. We'll come through here. Maybe even 2 of them, because then we have that decreasing radius as we go through. I almost like that little cutout, leaving it there. Not this one, though. This one needs to get covered. Something needs to happen to it. I can see this. That can look a little bit better, because we'll cover this up. And then we'll just need to fill this guy in, probably with more of this number 8. Yes, yes. And we build you out. That'll look. All right. I like that. I like that. I think that's pretty decent. And now if I push it back, I might even want to build it one more layer, just because this looks so much smoother than what we had before. Let's go pull out the trash. Not that trash. I want F10 trash. On the last test stream I was doing, we built this guy. Started framing it out. Was getting way too big, but you can see some of the similar design elements coming through there. We still have the 2 sets of the internal thrusters, and I was going a bit bigger on the outside ones. But it got too big too fast, and it was looking a little bulky. This nose cone, which is probably actually a pretty good term for it, just because it is a cone shape, got too big, and it was a little too uniform, so it looks dumb from a lot of angles. I think this one looks a lot smoother coming through. I like that. And I think I will bulk out these nacelles next. And if necessary, because that looks pretty sleek, I think the nose goes up a block and back a bit. Oof. How do I do this? These thrusters are in the way. Because I can't wrap. I have to wrap around the top, which should be fine too. Which means I could just drop them down, which give them a little more bulk as well. And then we just ignore that there's fire coming out. So let's do some half blocks coming forward. There and there. And placing that little plate inside actually is going to help us build off of it and then reinforce everything that we're doing here. Ooh, unless, I mean, that looks okay, or that could look more like an intake. Because if we do, not an intake like this, but it would have to come all the way forward. Let's just stick with what we're doing here. And then we'll think about it, see what grows on us. Those go there. There's nothing attaching it at the bottom, which is why that piece fell off when I deleted this one. We'll drag this coming through this way. Okay, and then we should continue the same down below. That covers up the outside bit. I'm almost even okay with that, although it's starting to look a little more Star Trek and a little less Battle Star Galactica. I guess it just needs to be a bit more blocky to retain BSG elements. Could also bulk out the bottom bit. Let's do that. You're connected there. What if I just push that nacelle back just once more? Which means I'd actually have to delete what I've done in here. Let's work with it, because this almost wants to be bigger so it can wrap around. Or at least that's the detailing that they've got there. And in Space Engineers 2, they're going to have all the grids as one unified grid system. So right now we're working in large grid, but if I choose my block a second time, I get a smaller version of it. And we'll be able to mix and match these in Space Engineers 2, which is going to be profound for a lot of building details. Otherwise, you end up with rather coarse transitions like this, which are made all the more coarse by trying to make something super, super small. If you want good detail with these large grids, then what we would or should be doing is building very, very large ships. What if we pull you? I think that's going to look dumb. Just because I can't pull this all the way around. Yeah, I don't like that. Do I like this any better? That could work. That could work. Work, and then I can just cover down this way, and it makes it look like it has that wrap I was trying to shoot for. I won't be able to do anything with these guys. They're going to stay in the way. You're not going to do that. You're going to come up like that. If we are in fact wrapping, and then we go this way to pull it back in. So a lot of exposed portions of the ship, especially for a warship, but I think we're gonna be able to get away with it. At least I hope so. Most of the fighting should be done up front, which is all the more reason for a bigger nose. Let's pull back a little bit here. I just think those nacelles are too long. Too long. But if I get rid of portions of it, I like 5 back there. I could put thrusters elsewhere. So it's not the end of the world. I just have a lot of dead zone that has to be kept into account for this area for the reverse thrust. Unless I just put the reverse thrust somewhere else, like here. I could literally put it here, and I don't have to come out as far. So let's do that. That's the thinking process right there. Just make stuff up as we go along, and then when we find something that we can change, then do it, because it'll make stuff look better. That's primarily what I'm going for right now, at least, is the look better portion of stuff. Means I don't need that, and looks like that was literally the only place that that piece was sitting in. So you're having that same issue. Oh, because those are all gyroscopes coming through there. It's still fine. We don't even need that block, which means we could even drop those guys. Let's do this piece. Yeah, that could blend. That could blend nicely. What did I just have there? 1/2 sits up the top. And then you go here. Which means I need to transition this a lot better, because it doesn't have room to breathe like it just did. That's not bad. There's got to be a good... No. Do not like the way that's sitting. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. That work? Don't really like that either. There's the one. Maybe even push that back a bit further too. You'll still cover that. That'll be nice. You're gone. You are here. And then that'll get you a transition tip. Which way do you fit? Whichever one it fits, we just go put it in place, and then we have mirrors on, so we'll go over here. And then we have all the ones that we need for it. I was messing with the inside back there. So again, here. That doesn't look right. It was a 9. The 9. And then go here. That works. I think that works pretty nicely. And then I can fill in that last little bit with that. It's okay. That's okay. I'll probably get rid of it. As it does look a little out of place. It did shorten that nacelle quite a bit. And now we're getting more of that Manticore look and feel. Or at least the look. I still want to cut this nose. So let's get rid of 2 blocks. We don't want these guys here. And if I pull you up, how much can I cut off through here? 2 blocks. If I make this base back here a little shorter. I think the Manticore needs to get like 1 layer fatter even. Let's leave it as big as it is right now. I'm going to make you 2 blocks bigger. And then we're going to pull this in just as tad. I think that'll work. So let's add that structure. We get rid of 2. 2. Almost had a Looney Tunes moment there. Like, which side, if I cut it, which side's going to fall? And of course, the side with the tree falls, not the side with the branch. There, and paste. Don't do this to me. Yes. Oh. Yes. We have to come out here. Get a good paste here. Oh, I wanted the nose to be higher, which means it needs to be not here. That's the front. What's going on? And sometimes this just happens. The grid just wants to flip around because it thinks that's what it's supposed to do. I don't even have T on to be flipping. Rotate, rotate. And that's where sometimes I have to grab another ship and force these into alignment. Which I may end up doing. Let's do this the hard way then. I'm gonna stick that in the ground. And I'm going to clip that. And we'll just attach you instead. I should be able to attach it right here in this line. There. Just like that. Now I got my elevation and the length. And I will add a couple more blocks in here so we can get a little more height. And then we can recenter this guy. Probably off of you. Copy that. Look at that. There we go. Don't know why you don't want to spin. There we go. Now we're back on track. And then this can get cut. And you can go to the graveyard. Actually, that's probably flyable, isn't it? If I put a power source on there, let's give that a shot. Hydrogen doesn't use a lot of power because we've got hydrogen as the fuel source. And it's probably pretty light too. Let's hop in there. We had thrust in all the directions. We'll turn our dampeners on so that way it can actually hover and stop itself whenever it's doing things. Some good acceleration. We're also flying in Earth-like planet. So we've got 1G keeping us down, or at least relative. It's got some good turn there. Hit us pretty hard. How hard can we turn? I guess with the up thrust going, we're getting a good spin out of it. Okay. I'm liking the way that's handling. In Space Engineers 2, we're going to have a much higher speed limit. That speed limit's going to be 3 times what we're doing right now, which is our cap is 100 meters per second. I don't know what this ship has been doing, but it's... I've got some elements in here that are supposed to be navigating to things, and they've done them well forever. And I have no idea why that one was just stalling out there. I think it was trying to navigate to a waypoint, and then couldn't hit it, so it was kind of freaking out. But these are actually using the old GPS systems. Not that it matters, because if I put the new AI flight box in place, it would do largely the same. Looks like it's on its way now, which is good. I haven't seen the other ship come by. There's supposed to be other ships coming down to these pads too. I wonder if they're having similar issues flying around. They're just background elements, all the same, but do kind of want those background elements to work, because that's the whole purpose of it is. I think this looks pretty good. I did not put that braking thrust in place, so I just kind of drift forward. And if you're drifting forward, I can just spin around and use the other thrusters to brake for me. Set you down. I'll make sure I go add those braking thrusters in, as I know I will forget about them. I've got that space up there taken care of. This is looking good. I did bring this back probably a little too much. Let's get rid of one. And of course you don't have the mirror mode on anymore. There we go. That should be good. So this is going to come through to here. Or take a look at Manticore reference. We can kind of dome this in if we can. Yes. Yes, and there's another 9 piece that does that too. Yes. And another 9 piece. Close enough? No. There is inverted corner. The nemesis inverted corner rears its ugly head, but this time in a good way. You go there. That's gonna hold in place. Don't worry about it falling. That's fine. This can come back. The inverted corner is the nemesis because it is on, like, for me right now, this cube, I've got it on my number 6, so I'll refer to these different block series and what number I've got them on. But the cube is one of the more common things you will use. So is the slope, and in the same things are other odd blocks that you won't normally use, like this and this. And the worst part about this inverted cube or inverted corner cube is that from this angle it looks almost identical to the regular cube, and if you weren't paying attention you'd just be dropping cubes all over, or inverted corner cubes all over the place, and that's frustrating when you go back and see, like, no, I spent all this time building something and it's almost completely wrong. At least as far as that aesthetic look that we're going for. I can't do anything with that tank there. I almost want to put another tank in here, but then I can put thrusters actually in here if I have something else to feed it. This is all going to be jump drive, so that won't be able to feed from there. Or I could push, that won't be able to push forward. I could stagger it. We'll get there. We'll continue with the looks and then we'll move on to function. Or we'll do this to frustrate me and I'll have to come back and fix it when I care. That's probably a good way to do it. Do it when I care more. That's gonna go there. We're back on the 9 or whatever for ladders. Not ladders, the stairs. This doesn't look right coming through here. And I can always adjust. I just wanted to see what the shapes look like as they merge in. That'll be okay, because I don't want to, or I can't put a half plate in there, and I don't want this to bulge out. This one's a little easier, because I could just go 2x1. And then, actually, I would put that guy. I would put that in there. Otherwise, I could just put 7 tip. You're going to come this way with you, and you're going to sit right here. But I think it would look better if that were the case. In which case I can get rid of this and just do that 2x1 transition down into here. That way it doesn't look dumb. 2x1. Well, that's going to look dumb no matter what. Or is this a place for you? That's probably a little bit better. Yeah, it's going to have to work. Yep. Gonna have to work. That looks okay. We need interest over here. This is going to... I think even with what I've got there, this coming in. That looks good. This just needs to be up one more. These are at a different elevation. Yes. Ooh. Oh, it's 1, 2. Yeah. Wherever my corridor went. There you go. Corridor. Ooh, that corridor. Nah, we'll just keep it this way. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. But that's 2 space for the dead zone of thrust. And now we don't have to worry about it cooking off anything, and it's perfectly hidden, and we have a little shape out of this, which works well blending into where the thrusters go. So that worked out. That worked out well. And I may even... Hold on. Mm-hmm. I think I will pull that forward. We'll do that just to give this a little more distinctiveness, because I do intend to put some other kind of design coming through here. We could even do... Yeah. Vents. And now we look even faster. And then we can go... Jump drive has to sit in there. Unless I stick it up front. That looks a little bit better. There we go. That looks pretty cool. High speed, as we would say. I want that to come through. That blocks us off. That gives us our shape there. That's a free space. I can work with it. Yeah. I'm liking that. That looks pretty cool. I don't like whatever this is supposed to be. I can come back to it though. But I think we're nailing it now. Ooh, is that going to be... It can't be an access point. Because I won't be able to dock to it. I mean, how's this thing supposed to get docked to anyways? It can sit on things. And maybe we'll just deal with that. With it trying to sit on things. I've got a fair amount of space in here. Let's pull out, actually, this. I do have some support blocks in here. And I don't know what they go to, or if I can get rid of them. We can just paint them and see what's out here. So these are... Those have to stay where they're at. Everything that I just painted there. So the red ones can be removed. Yep. Where are you connected? I'm going to pull this back and down here for some strength, just in case I get rid of that accidentally when I know I will. I'm going to bulk up. I actually have a lot of space in here. What's going back here? Okay. I can work with that. You can be sealed, and they come back this way. I could make that a corridor coming through. Yeah. Because this is going to get bulked out. This is because they're split now. Or different elevations, rather. Let's spray... Do I need any of those? One I do. Come through here. Probably shouldn't use blue and green. It's making it a little hard to see. Let's put some colonial red in there. And if I do... These are all yellow. And if they turn out yellow out here, it looks like almost all of them do, I will mark them red. And then if it's still yellow, I can delete it. Because we might be at the front. Yeah, we're probably at that front as far as we're going to go forward. I can still put other things in there, like these don't have to be cubes, they're braced on the sides. So let's go back to bulk up from here. I just wanted to carve out some space and see what I had to work with. Because even through here, I can make this half block and have some more elevation on the inside for the engine room. But that does not answer the question about where this docks. I think we're just going to have something down here that it's going to sit on. Because it'll have a giant gun. So it won't be able to sit on the trade stations at all. Not with it being that far forward. So we'd have to do a dock elsewhere. Which is fine too. I mean, if I make this right when it sits down, you could just exit that way, which would also be good. And then I could have a port under here, which just means when it goes to space stations, it has to dock relatively on the belly. Which I may do. Let's bulk up this back here first. That's all probably going to be conveyor ports. Or at least something in there's got to be conveyor ports with this going forward. We can do... Kind of want to repeat this pattern, just set back. Set back to here. Yeah, why not? Set that back. Let's see if I can do 1, 2, 3, and then you will have for 3, and then we'll go 4. That gives me only one piece of overlap. That'll probably work. that wrong. That goes there. That's a flat. This is... There we go. So now we're repeating that top shape, but down here. And the colonial designs kind of play into that really well. With they're kind of blocky. Which is good, because we're making a blocky looking ship. And then this should... That almost needs to bulk down just a little bit more in the rear. Otherwise we do this and it comes together probably a little too well. I think the butt needs to be a bit chunkier as it comes down. We keep this piece here. Yeah. That's... Those are 6 cubes. Yeah. Now we've got a big bulky butt back there. That makes this look a little more streamlined. I can live with that. I can even do a little more bulkiness up front because it kind of looks like it wants to be layers anyways. I want transition, tip. If we do you here, that's where you should go. And if we back it up, we've got a secondary layer we're building. And it's probably what I wanted. Although I kind of wanted that secondary layer to go more forward. I can't because I can't get closer in the mirror than where I'm at, so it'll have to be good enough. Unless I put it... Okay. Yeah. I think that'll work. This is all going to be half plates coming through. I think that'll work. I want this to curve in a bit more, too. That'll be fine there. This is going to be 7, which we're still at. Probably to here, and then probably need to fall back. Like that. That looks okay to me. Maybe even here? Then I can get rid of that. That way there's a distinct change through there. That's okay. We'll put blocks in for there for now. And I really like... Let's close you off just so I can see what I'm working with. Or what actually has to be in there. Okay. This... It just kind of ends. Which means I could put more thrusters! I could actually put bank of thrusters sticking down right there, which helps with more up thrust. and it kind of fits with what's going on in the ship design anyways. Down, down, down. Ooh. I almost never put landing gear on my ship because they're big and they don't fit the designs. And that's why right there. I was like, oh, we could just put landing gear right there. Use old school thrusters there. I almost want to push the head back a bit more. I like this element. I like this element, how it comes back up and over. That looks good. Maybe it's just this neck that I don't like. Let's see if I can get a better pointer. So this looks good. Oop, a little too high there. This looks good to me. All of this back through here. I'm thinking I just need to get over it because that's how the reference model is. And it's probably the way I have that rounded piece, which is throwing me off. But I'll just get over it. Okay, so now we will paint things that look like they're on the outside. Do I want more thrusters there? Do I need more thrusters? I don't really need thrusters. What can go here? More guns, of course. Or I could blend it back in. I could put a gun there. More guns. Yeah, I'm liking that. We'll put this here just to cover it up. This gets to all be number 6. And same thing here. We will do 8s. Ooh, do I want to... I'll do it out here. That's what I was doing before, and I rather like that. Oops. And then I'll just pull them coming in with the half. What about down here? Yes, down here too. These little half slopes. Unless there's a good transition for that. Maybe there is. I'll leave it for now. Or I'll just futz with it. Yeah, that'll do. And then you there too. Back to 7. So I'll look forward. And we'll make this a cell. Nice and blocky. Just like the SG. Ooh, that looks good all the way forward too, because I can pull it. Why not end it here at the wing? I think that'll do good. And then up here, same thing. You and you. As it smooths through, I don't have to worry about this. Kind of do. It'll have to be good enough. Or I could break that. And just put... is there a 9-piece? Thinking through all the blocks that we have available for this stuff. To get a good transition in some of these places. That's not the worst I could do. I could do worse. Okay. I wanted this to come in also. What if we go back to our transition? Oh yeah, that's a number 7 all the way down, my 2x1 base that I like so much. And that gives us that little blocky layer. Okay. Okay. And now I need to pull this through with what? What? There you are. Okay. Yeah, and that echoes what's literally right above it. Maybe pull this forward then? And then I get one more. Then I put the right block in place. There we go. That way it's not immediately mirroring. What if I pull it even further forward? Or I can push it further back. Let's push it back. Get rid of you and you. Put that there. That'll do. And could I do it here as well? Let's just see. Seven. I still get a tapered look. Ooh, but I've got a... I wanted that specifically here for these. What if I just do... There's got to be a transition for that. I want... That goes there, yes, but... It's a base. Unless the answer is just it's not pretty. It might just not be pretty. So what other options do we have? No. That's a half. That could work. It's kind of weird that it goes all the way down like it does to come back up. Because I could just keep that, and I'm sure there's a transition for this too. Of course there is. Well, let's just find what will work. There. That'll push things back a little bit. I like this layering. That's good. I may even do that here. No, because I've got this going through. So it's got to be different. But that's fine. Everything's fine. I have this coming through. I'll just pull it this way anyways. Unless I want that to come all the way forward. Don't really like that going all the way forward. I do want this all covered up. That could go here. There's another tip to go there. And it's just a little exposed gas tank, which is fine because we have a little exposed gas tank up top. I can plate the top. I can't plate that side. I can't get in there because this block is too big. But that's coming together. And we need to paint. We need to paint to find exterior bits so that we don't remove them all. Or at least we know where they're at. These are exterior bits. Exterior bits. This is all exterior bits. I won't be going further back that way. Exterior. And it's mostly going to be if I don't have a cube. Or even if there is a cube. Because the inside I'll be seeing the opposites of all of these, which are either... They should all be flat. And let's get rid of that and take a dive. Okay, so here's our engine room area. And it looks like I should have all of this space to work with. So put that flooring in. This is free space for me to work with. That's the exterior. Mine. Get rid of that. Oh, just didn't paint it. That's bad on me. That. That was also bad on me. I do want these pieces, though. And what's there? It's probably a square. And I remove something up here. At least these ones were easier to find. Sometimes I'll remove stuff like this, and I'll like, what intricate shape was sitting right there? I wish I knew. Those are also exterior pieces. I won't be coming this far forward. All of this is floor. This is exterior. At least I can work with them somewhat if they are. That's goner. I can work with them somewhat if they are on the inside and a floor piece, because I can put like a little plate in there and walk over it, or something else can be put in, like if I needed a bed or something that had a bottom to it could fit in there. That opens up a lot of space in here for me to work with. All of that is good. That's good too. Okay. Now, these are all labeled exterior. What are you? You say you're a cube. Yeah. So you're there. Same thing here. Yep. Just listen to my indications. This is that deep underside belly. Okay. And then I've cleared out all that I'm gonna get, essentially, because that's gonna be... Nope. Yep. That's about all the space I'm gonna have on the inside there, which is still a lot. This is a lot to work with. I just can't remove anything else. I can paint all of this too, or at least I can paint you another kind of gray. Paint all this red another gray. This was another thing I had seen on the demos, at least for painting, if you paint because the paint gun is going to be organic to the game as opposed to a mod, and they've taken it to where you can look at a color and then change all the blocks that have that color that are touching. I don't know if it's changed all the blocks of that color or just touching. They said touching. Either way, just changing all the blocks on a ship, you could have a quick change in paint schemes. Like, oh, here I'm going to do red versus blue, and you have the colors for red already. You can just pick your blue and then color pasta. And then you have the new color for the new thing. So I think that'll be interesting. But for now, we just have to run through and change everything. I've been working in the white for the most part, so making this gray. I was about to say, why did that change? Making this gray is going to give it a little bit of contrast. And I can even go back to that white now with weldless or plastic, whatever it was. I think I had plastic on it, but I messed something up. Let's go out and up. That's good enough. Everything that is red on the outside, but not on the inside, just means that I'm not immediately touching it. So there might even be a little more space to save, because I can see no more red in there. But I don't think it matters that much. I think what I need to do is, before I start trying to fill the inside, the back is piped and works. It needs to be able to be refueled, which is going to come through here. It's got to be somewhere down here on this bottom. That's what I'll get rid of some of this. And this is going to have to go to the piping system somehow. Specifically, that one. And I can't wrap it around that way, because this is all floor. And I may just have to pull this tank forward, which should also be fine. It'll just be exposed, whatever. So I can put, we have another new block. This is no longer the collector. This is connector. Collectors used to have connectors in them, and now we've got new connectors, so I don't need that collector. This guy. Let's turn off mirror mode for a second. This inset connector has connection on the side, and it's inset. I could pop you down there, and I could pipe it this way. And I turned off that mirror mode, one, so I can see which way it's facing, and then two, so that I can pipe it up. Now I can do... Oof. It'd have to come up and over if I don't want to mess with this exterior, because otherwise I'd have something like that hanging off. Which is another opportunity for a gun! It'd be player gun, because nothing else can really sit there. So let's just go up and over. This... That's a thruster. I want a T here, not that T. That'll be a T to block it out. And then we want some elbows, armored elbows. I don't worry about that one. That particular piece right there won't matter because it is just going to be cargo access at this point. That'll fill up that space. And speaking of cargo access, I mean, I could almost put a cargo block there. I mean, that's what I could do on this side. So I have access to everything. And then this was going to be... This has to be a T also. There. Now you're a T. And 1, 2... Crap. I need to pipe all the way through with this as well. Which is also fine, but... I mean, why not? We're already doing stuff in here. This armored tube, and T, and that's not gonna let me go through it though. I want an armored sleeve coming forward through here. Where's my... Yeah, this is 2. And I can put that down. So that is going to go through there. This connector doesn't have through. It's an elbow. So if I put you here, you get nothing. And I can't push it down. And if I put it to the side, it won't work. Okay, so that's gonna go like that, and then yes, yes, and you have weird elbows. That way we can have weird elbows coming around this way, and it's not even gonna be pretty. I mean, I could just cover up that, but I don't want it to be covered up. Elbow, 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 and then, so that's going to be a ring circuit coming around with my conveyor network. That's not stable at all. That's pretty dumb. But it's going to have to work. Yeah, I don't like that. Let's do this coming through so we have a solid plate. And we've got that working for us. I think that should be okay. At least it'll pipe us through to here. And then I was going to put tanks there. Yeah, it doesn't even mess with the location of the tanks. I don't think it did. No. Mirror back on, tanks, and there. I think that'll work. I don't even need cargo access. Yeah, I need cargo access, of course. Let's say I could put it there, or an air vent. Those blocks. See exactly where they're at. Where are... There you are. This is what I was just looking at there. How do I want to get in and out of the ship? Through the underside, through a ladder. Can't be through a ramp, that's all fat engineering section. This is deadly hydrogen exposed. Very weak conveyor system. Maybe We'll see what it looks like. Underside can have the same, though it's less likely to be hit, even though these panels aren't going to do anything besides just get hit. Remove this. Let's add you back. Let's change our color since we're working with different colors now. Let's default these. There we go. I also wanted weldless. That'll work too. And 2x1 base. And we just get a lot of different paints going through here as we're building in phases. Okay. Now we want to get to our primary weapons. We want a giant gun mounted here. Oh. Too bad I don't like railguns because this is a perfect mirror position for a pair of railguns. They're big and heavy and have a massive recharge time, but you would look so pretty sitting right there. A block apart. Yeah. I don't even know if I could pipe that up. I could put guns off of my guns. I don't know if I want that. I'd probably be better off with these guys, if anything. And that's more than likely what I'll do. Is just have these there, because I could have more of them shooting. And then here, do I want it to be that far forward? Yes. Because whatever is here gonna have to be probably an elbow. Maybe I should make it a T. A T just in case, because I'm going to start building off of it. Yeah, like that. Unless I want the rotor mounted there. That would inset it quite a bit. Yes, that is what's happening now. You can still be a T. Maybe I'll need you for something else. That's my... No, that's definitely just going to be an elbow. If you're an elbow, you're going to be advanced rotor. Where it is forward for you. Okay. And that makes us have a lower profile. So we can put a hinge. There. And then with the big hinge, we can make the external cockpit. That'll work. I guess we can do a quick test while we're here. Forward thrust, excellent. Reverse thrust, yep. Right and left and down. So we've got all the thrust. Little peek behind everything. So we've got lots of thrust. Awkward camera is for being in a bad position. We want that hinge. Do I want the tiniest of head? To make it a ball? It's not going to be a ball. It could be whatever I put in there. Let's just give it a medium head. And we're going to hinge lock it for now. It doesn't move around on us. Then we can mess with these guys, because now we're converting over to small grid. Let's convert, and there's the conveyor converter. So earlier I was talking about large grids and small grids. And this is now our large grid ship going to be converted into a small grid. I mean, I could even put a tinier head on there and sink this in even more, if that is what I want to do. And it might be what I want to do. Just to keep everything with a lower profile. What do I need the big box for? Do I want this big box? Because I could still put tiny port down, and then I have big ports to work, but I don't want big ports. So this should be okay. Or I could just do a pair of these conveyor converters. I would have the tiny one in there, and there would just be a pair of these, and I would have additional forward supports. I mean, I could just make this be the front of the gun. It's pointing straight down right now as opposed to forward. So this is probably the best. And do I have tiny little pieces? I do. What about... I could just make it an auto cannon, or not an auto cannon, I have to rebuild a lot to make that work. I have to get rid of this, and I could make a tiny hinge in there and then bring it out. But I could have an it's not a chain gun. Assault cannons in a rotary assault cannon gun here. Rotary assault cannon gun. What is the range on the assault cannon? They're also slow. 1400. So I still have a fair bit of range. Rotary assault cannon. Let's do it. So that's not going to spin there. That's not going to fly either. So we want tiny head. Hinge, small head. Still lock, and we'll inertia tensor this guy too. Now we're facing down there, yes. And rotors now have tiny rotor. Tiny advanced rotor. I don't care which way you spin. I do need to make this offset somehow in its ring. And I could do that easily with another rotor. Advanced rotor. There we go. That's the part that's actually going to spin. Previously, I only had the 4. And can I even put it there? Yep. Only had the 4. And I might still be able to. Where's the mounting point for? You're in the back. So I could do one of these. Ooh, but where's going to be the subgrid that's mounted to? The subgrid would have to be the rotor itself, which is doable if I put all the sensors on the rear. Yeah, so this is just going to be a block of guns and look kind of dumb. That's okay. It can look kind of dumb. We're just going to make a block of guns, and it's going to look kind of dumb. And then those need to get piped to you. And you might have to displace that rotor just a skosh. Did I miss one? I did. Probably tried to put it in the wrong place there. Okay. Oh, maybe I put it in the middle somehow. I don't know how that worked. I definitely don't want a camera in there because the camera will be rotating. And as far as this goes, all of these... Sensor. Do I have a sensor in here? Are you under this block now? Everything else, we'll just go sensor, sensors. Sounds right to me. Yep. You can all get this, so if that is going to be whatever. I'm going to do all these based upon their face. Which is the front part, so... Oh, no, it's a subgrid, it shouldn't matter. I just thought like, oh hey, if I put a block here, how am I going to detect it? Let's do this block. And it might even be detecting the other bits. But as they come through, they should fire when they see this, if I set them all right. Actually, let me just do cockpit. I can look at it. Ow. Ow. You mean I can't place a light armor cube there? Oh. That's that crazy one, just like I was talking about. One of those weird cubes that looks like a... Or offcut cube that looks like a regular cube. Where did my cockpit go? Just give me what I want. No, 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 no. Okay, now I can see. Sensors. Left, right, bottom, top, back. Front's all I want, and I think it only needs like half a meter. I also want to see it show on HUD. Yes, show. Where's my range? Block a terminal. Yep, yep. Proximity off. Players. Nope. Objects. I think it has to be. One of these was dumb. You are detecting a large ship subgrid. Do not fire on friendlies or neutrals or enemies. And by fire, I mean the sensor going off itself. And then we have to go in here so we can actually see the sensor field of range. We go back into our sensors. Front. Show on HUD. There we go. Those green bars are our sensor. I don't need it to be that much. Let's make it back to 0.5. So now only one of them is green. That's what I want to see. Let's turn that rotor. Advanced rotor, this guy. Should be that one because the other one should be locked, right? Oh, I did lock. Advanced rotor. The one I'm looking at is on this ship. So this is advanced rotor base. Not the one I want, but one I do want that's going to be spinning everything. This one is going to be advanced rotor gun. That's the one we want to spin. Whatever that number is, we can put you in here because on a normal public server, we can't exceed the limits. Completely spin, rotor displacement, extend a bit, and yeah, that was what I was afraid of, that the rotor would get stuck. So let's turn your velocity off, but you're still trying to cling out because we need to come out just one more block so that this rotor gun can actually spin like it needs to. Which is annoying because I probably have to rebuild the whole thing. Which isn't a lot right now, but it's still annoying. I get rid of you. Ah, let's think ahead. Get rid of you. Actually, I want to come back over here. Nope. Start there again. We'll do the hinge. Hinge gets a hinge part. Small hinge part. Lock to place. Okay. Then we can have the little dude, but we'll make you armored. We have a little more endurance. Anytime you want to look at it. There it goes. Do armored. Armored straight. I don't think there's anything else that it needs pipe to. Whatever. Armored straight. Now we can go tiny rotor. Advanced rotor. Tiny. Down here. Oops, I don't even want this tiny advanced rotor. Nope. And nope. There we go. Because I can take you and just plug it right in here. At least I thought I could. That rotor isn't letting me get through. Because it's going to be the same problem with pasting there. So let's just do rotor. And all this for a gun that's going to break on the first hit. You go there. You get that. And now we need sensors. Sensors will complete what we had before. Where's your face? There. Sure. Sure. And yes. Okay, now we can go back to this one and mess with our sensors. Oop, oop, oop. Oh, and I need them something to queue off of. That's all going to be rotating, so it shouldn't matter. I'll put you here. And did you detect it? We'll have to make it spin. You should be detecting that. New rotor will be rotor gun. Not a real rotor gun, or a fake rotor gun. Crank you up until you become just about there. Velocity, let's get it spinning. Spinning looks good. Increase our sensors. Need something to trip off of because they're all new sensors. Proximity, no. Players, No. No, 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 no. Subgrid. Problem is that they're tripping on too many things, which really doesn't matter at this point, because once they fire, they're going to reload, or okay, it's tipping off the sides. Enemies, neutrals, friend. Protect my ship. Let's go sensor face, and we'll shorten it. And then I will change that. Because that will definitely, yeah, that'll do it. It was just because it was going up that we were having a problem, I think. So that should be good there. And then we just need to dial in the fire rate, rotation. Oh, I also need to find out which gun is every gun. Okay. Rotor stop. Rotor run. Rotor gun. Also off. Stop spinning. And stop shaking. Rotors. Scaring me. Don't want you to shake that much. Yeah. Hit our hinge. Turn off that lock. And where is your tensor? Yeah, we're good. Where are you? You can be number 1. Or you could be number 6. Sure, you're number 6, which means you are sensor 6. Gun 6, sensor 6. You are gun 4, and you will be sensor 4. Wow, that worked out. And you are assault cannon. We'll call you 1, which will make you sensor 1. That one we're not going to deal with yet. Take the easy ones. Cannon 8, sensor 8. Cannon 5. Sensor 5. Cannon 3. Come on. Sensor 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and sensors. Also have 1, 2. Well, I don't know which one you are specifically. Cannon. Okay, that cannon is broken. You are cannon 2. So you will be sensor 2. Then I need one. I would like all of my tools to be cyclable as well. Or at least like all the grades of the tool. Like if I pick welder, then all welders should be on that one. Which one? You're the one we just did, right? 2. On this side, we're going to do the same. Where we have the first cut. Now you're broke, and you are... Cannon 7 is incomplete, so you will be sensor 7. And we'll put our welder on here. Put our welder on here. There we go. So now we have 1 for 1 across the board. Sensor 1, setup action, cannon 1. Shoot once. Sensor 2, cannon 2, shoot once. Sensor 3, cannon 3, shoot once. Sensor 4. Cannon 4. Shoot once. 5. Can 5. Shoot once. 6. Cannon 6. And we can shoot once again. I did that shoot on off before, and I'm like, why is this still shooting? I don't even remember where we're at. 7. 7. Shoot once instead of constantly shooting, and 8. And 8 can also shoot once. And now all of our sensors will shoot just once. Go to our rotor. Again. On. Let's turn you on. Rotor. Rotor, why? Why aren't you spinning? Didn't like the tensor? Why? That's weird. You're doing it now. Boom, 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 boom. So we just need to dial in the speed a bit because we've got 8. 18 is definitely way too fast. It needs enough time so that each of these will fire every time it comes around to that front. I wonder if I can try to put a pillar in there because that'll give me the most accurate. No, my rotor's not. Turn off that inertia tensor. Something's messing with it. I don't need it double tapping. I don't want a light there either. I got rid of that round column because we don't have almost in the same groove anymore. Columns with interior blocks. Down here, where's that column at? Column isn't even the central piece anymore. No, I guess not. So, what passages was it? Interior. It had other stuff. We're just gonna give it that. And that was a half block. I don't want you. It's just gonna have to. It doesn't have to. It doesn't just have to. Nothing just... This one. You. You fire off of that, or I can even make it this. Or, while I'm thinking of the silly ones, make it this. Yeah. Just fire off of that. Okay, and now it's just a matter of adjusting the height. Sensor face... or 0.5. Yeah, that's look like it's pretty dialed in there. So right now, we're just going to fire every time this comes into an alignment. And the rotation I have is just about right for it to do so. We might be able to dial in a little bit faster, but that looks like it is doing what it's supposed to. And I won't be able to... can't do anything around here to protect it. And I can't have it protect itself either, so it's kind of vulnerable just hanging there. Let's turn our rotor gun off. Sensors can stay on. They've triggered once, so we're not going to keep firing randomly. Shit. We've got these guns here. That looks pretty good. We need to make this viable by making... we'll go on the inside. We need piping to come through. Should be pretty easy to do. Let's get some... just a straight tube. That'll work. How far down do we want to go? We're here. Let's pull this there. And then what is that block? That's dangerous to do. So stack elbows. Elbow, elbow. Actually, we're probably pretty safe to just come straight up off of that. I don't know if I need extra stuff up here. Go forward. Tube. Tube. Let's just be dumb about this one. Air vent. 3. Because the air vent is a new block that I like too. Not that one. This guy. Now you can pass through and pressurize. Yay! Oh, speaking of... this. Not a hydrogen, although we could put hydrogen tanks in here. I want an oxygen tank. Yeah, we're airtight over there. Because I could just pop hydrogen tanks all the way through, and that'll give me long-lasting... There's even enough space for a big tank in here, and I don't even have to care about that kind of stuff. But that's not where that's going to go. So you won't pressurize because we have blocks missing. Rightfully so. And one up top. Also rightfully so. Let's escape. I still need to figure out a way in and out of the ship. And I can't go through the center because that's where my conveyors are. I don't know, maybe I can walk down the side or something. We'll figure that out in a bit. First, that gun's pretty useless without some blocks that we need here. AI blocks. Do I even have them up here? I don't see them, so we'll just replace that. AI blocks. We are going to defense and offense. Go. Those two can go there. I could really just put some of these other ones elsewhere. The flight doesn't have to go in any of these particularly, but we just put flight in here. Why not? Or I could have 2 flights, one for patrol, and then one for an aggression. What did I do on those? Yeah, those were hit and runs. And I had to swap it between 2 flights. So that when it was outside of a range, you would swap. So 2 flights it is. And then... we'll probably want some timers and stuff in there too. Strength block. So that when we'll have to turn on and then off that rotor gun. That rotor gun is going to lock whatever the current target is. So we'll do that. Targeting. Or turning rotor gun on and off, and it can target the locked target on there. That should do that. We also need to set some boundaries on it. Let's go out here. Okay. Because we can't sweep any more than 90 degrees one way or the other. I wish I didn't drop that cockpit. Yep, that can go away. That can go away. Put you here and put that cockpit back out because it was just such a convenient space. Oh, you know what I could do? That one. Okay. So that works there. And for our other advanced rotor base, I want. What are we at? 0 right now. So if we do 90 and 90, oh, I'm gonna shoot it out no matter what I do. Lower limit. minus 90. Upper limit, plus 90. Braking torque, move that up. And that hinge. You're at 0, plus 90 is as much as I want you to go. So 0 to plus 90. I guess I should just slap this on the side real fast here too. Custom turret controller. Well, I can make sure that I have all the right, I guess, limits. G. Okay. Custom turret controller needs an azimuth of the vertical base and an elevation of the hinge, which I need to rename. And your weapons assigned will be... Oof. I guess I'm assigning all of these to... No, because it's going to mess with it. Maybe that's why I need a ninth one. The ninth one can sit in the center. That's what the custom turret controller can target off of. It has to be manipulated by the defensive blocks or offensive blocks anyways. So that's what we're going to do. We'll just not even bother... We'll not even bother with that at the moment. Let's take this. I want to control. That's kind of beefy. Very, very sluggish. That won't go any higher than this, which is fine. Shake the whole ship as you turn. Also fine. And that's going to stick out amply far to get shot. Which shouldn't, because they all should be targeting the same thing. So the ship should be turning. Let's go inside. I may even have to make whatever connection is there. I may just have to make the walk-in out here, because this is convenient. You guys are fine. Let's do a custom turret controller. I just want to get this working and make it pretty, and then I can discontinue the time-lapse video because nothing much is going to change for it, and it's just a lot of detail stuff that we would capture here. Let's do wherever you went, custom turret controller. I just had you. There you are. Because the custom turret controller looks like an interesting seat as well. Oh, I have seats and things. Oh, it's going to look so neat when I get into detailing it. Custom turret controller. 2. The right one. You can do... ninth. That's what I need. A ninth gun. You're gone. That assault cannon. 9, auto cannon 9 will be CTC, auto cannon. Custom turret controller will use you because you're central. That's your assigned weapon. Add. And then we can give you rotor base and a hinge. That hinge needs to be rotor gun hinge. That works. That works a lot. Okay, now that that's all pretty and I'm kind of happy with it, let's paint. Let's paint you. I'm not going to worry about interior stuff or the last little bits of stuff. Let's see what you look in off-white sci-fi. That's kind of gross in the nose. The rest of it, it looks pretty decent. Looks like armor paneling. Plastic seems to do a little bit better. Dialing that back a bit. Try silver. These are extremely shiny, at least they appear that way. You some battle damage. It's really good on the flats. That's kind of cool. But you're going to be right off the line, I think. Some light rust in there? No. Some classic clean. Classic clean looks very nice on you. Let's go pink gun. We could even change what we want our decorations to be for. But let's classic clean. There we go. And let's do... Why are we lagging so much? Come on now. There we are. And let's go look at a reference real fast, because some of you only had some stripes. I'll have some stripes off of here. I could even make that more. More vents up there. And then you really just have a stripe along the nose too. So that little bit that comes from like here. Yeah. Pop that. Then we can pull that into here. I mean, that's not the worst I could do. I kind of wanted this line, which would mean get rid of that. And I don't like these side pieces here, or that. I do want that one coming down, which also means I want 8. You. There. Looks kind of gross. Let's put in some darker grays for vents. You guys for. Get closer to it. Oh, I don't even have the mirror on. Mirror. So I gotta do this all again, which is fine because it didn't have the mess ups. But does mean I have to replace. What? Mirror. Yes, you're on. Neat. Go here. Mirror. Now we're mirroring. Come across this way. Okay, and then we wanted something darker here. These are even good sci-fi because they look extra gnarly. And then up here, if we made this look like some extra fence here, that'll work. And maybe that's what this should all be here too. Instead of whatever I'm trying to do, make it that. I wonder if I could even just do that with the half blocks instead. Or since I've already built it up the one way, I could do that. That looks a little more sleek on there. I can taper that down a bit. This is okay. This needs to get painted red again so that it can match on the other side. What else do you have? You have a little bit in the back, it looks like. A little bit there. That's kind of covered down. And you also have this bit be gray as well. It's just to give a little separation from the rest of the body. And then this whole thing over here is gray. It's protuberance. Everything on it. Okay. That's too recessed. I just saw. You're too recessed. Which might actually fix some of my problems with you to begin with. No, go away. If I have... My problem was that we are offset on what we want here. Shift P. I could even push it back there, but I don't want to. That. What am I trying to do? You come this way. Up, and that can go. Oh, the problem is that it's not a straight through, which would mean a regular one would work just fine. Regular one works just fine. Ooh, but it's not airtight. Maybe that was what I was thinking of. That one should be airtight. And if I push you here, there. You could be fine there. That's T, that's a elbow. I can get rid of whatever dumb stuff I was trying to do here. Also dumb stuff. Get rid of that mirror for a second. So this is my pipe coming up. What are you? Your ramp. So I don't want that bulging out on the outside. Can do... That's the wrong T. Armor T. Armor T. Armor. Or I could just put cargo containers there and there. And then near elbow. Curve. Mirror. Curve. you have to be a regular junction. Because I need something to come forward too. Which makes you a cargo container. And then... there. So that fills those out. You know what goes here? Batteries. Now I've got power. And there we go. That's looking a little more beefy. That's not airtight. You can get, where can you put that? We still not airtight? Nope, because we have a hole in the roof. And one back there too. Which for now I just might make a door. So we can test our airtightness. All sorts of doors we got now. Yeah, airtight. Very nice. I can put whatever other things I need to in there. This whole chain can be hydrogen if necessary. I just need to fill the interior, build it out somehow. There's just plenty of space for whatever, and then actually get down into the ship, the actual ship. Means I might even be able to slap some windows in there. But that looks pretty good. Let's see what happens if I make... What happens if I make Battery a bad guy? That AI offensive should attack it, no? Let's make this a bad guy. Transfer to Space Pirates. Yep. No. Why no? Why are you not working? AI. AI offensive. On. Target characters, no. Circle orbit. Sure. Use static weapons. Yep, yep, yep. You use those. It's a large grid, so it should have a kilometer. Custom turret controller. No longer 2. Have here's your assigned gun. Your assigned gun. You've got an assigned gun. Yeah, that's your aiming reference. You can shoot them all at that. I guess it's the AI offensive block. Are you happy now? Are you gonna just make a mess because you want to shoot at something? That's exactly what you're doing. Because you want, but I want you to use that gun. Use that gun I've got you. Turn you both off. Let's turn your behavior on. Because you should just detect an enemy. Is that the large grid 4, 6? Yeah. That's you. Because you should be pointing the gun at it. Custom turret controller. I have an enemy locked. Enable AI, there we go. No! Well, I'll get back to that in a bit. But the main thing I wanted to do was get the ship up. And that looks pretty good. I will do some more tinkering with it to get it actually up. Are we going to copy the whole thing? I don't want to copy the whole thing. 0. I just want just a little bit. We can even put like a landing pad back here, landing gear. That looks pretty clean. And that's where its connection is going to be back there too, for fuels and stuff. And I can get rid of that. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. It's a little simple, but I think that looks pretty good for our little attempt that we did here. About 3 hours in to make this small grid ship. Or not small grid, this small large grid ship. And I think I nailed what I was trying to do before. Let's go on this side so we're not in the way. Or better yet, we can just come down here. 7 and 8. There. Yeah, I think this is what I wanted to do. This looks pretty good. Oh, I didn't pipe the guns here on the side, and I didn't put one on the back like I wanted. But we're at a good position here. I like this. I like this a lot. So I will continue working on this, fill it out, and then I'll get that published whenever I get that stuff done, which tends to take a while, so it won't be anytime soon, unfortunately. Then we got Space Engineers 2 coming up here soon on the 27th. I'll be hopping on that for sure. If you guys like this game, go support the Space Engineers 2. It'll be early alpha, it doesn't have all the blocks, but I like Space Engineers that much that I'm going to be doing it. And if that's the kind of game that you like, then I suggest that you support Space Engineers 2 also. The easier part will be getting the time-lapse done, but I also want to do some fights with this once I get that main gun done. And I'll get those working too. But that's all I've got for right now. Until next time, go forth and build great things. See you then.